Morning students, I am Maya. I am here to teach you SST. Today in SST our content will be Geography for class 5. Okay, and the topic will be Maps and Globes. This is chapter number 1. Okay, before starting the chapter, take a notebook and a pencil so you can note down the important points. That will be the contents of the chapter, which I'll show you at the starting of the lessons, and then we will discuss about that content. Okay, so please take a notebook and a pencil. I'll give you 5 seconds. Now moving to the contents as I have told you. Okay, in the contents, the first content is the shape of the earth. Now, what is the shape of the earth? You would say, ma'am, we know that the shape of the earth is round. Yes, but more about it. Who discovered? How did he discover? Okay, and what did the people in the ancient time think about the earth? What did people think? Okay, this we will discuss in the first content, that is the shape of the earth. In the second content is globe. You all must have seen a globe. It is the model of the earth, right? But do you know the colors on the earth are the same on the globe? But what do they indicate? What do these colors indicate? We will discuss in this section. Next, problems with globes. What types of problems do we face when we use a globe? Some important points I will tell you about it. Next is map. You all must have seen a map. But do you know that there are different types of map? Which map is used for what purpose? No. You must not be knowing that. We will discuss such important points in this section, that is the map. As I have told, types of the map. Which type of maps are there? I'll tell you in content number 5. Then comes the signs and the symbols. You all have seen the map, right? But there are some signs and symbols on these maps. What do these signs and symbols indicate? I'll show you each and every sign with a picture. Okay? While discussing such things, you'll see some pics, and in that pics, you'll come to know that which sign indicates what. Then comes the colors on the map. The colors on the map and the colors on the globe. What do that colors indicate? It is blue in color, green, brown, yellow. But what do these colors indicate? We will discuss in this 7th content, that is the colors on a map. Then the directions and the scale. Yes? Yes. Directions. You all know the directions. Scale. A scale, not a ruler, the one which you have in your geometry box. No. We have the ruler on the map also. On which side that scale is, and why is that scale there? What does that scale show? So these are all the contents which we are going to discuss in this chapter. So let's move to the chapter. Come. Yes, now let's start the chapter. In the first section, I would like to tell you, before discussing the shape of the earth, I would like to tell you why was the shape of the earth discovered. In the ancient time, people didn't know what is the shape of the earth. Why? Because when they used to stand in front of a sea, that is SEA, in front of a sea, what did they watch? What did they see there? Whenever they used to see a ship or a boat in the sea, they used to see that when the ship used to reach the horizon, after reaching the horizon, the ship used to disappear, which made them feel or felt that the earth is flat. Because when the ship disappeared, they thought that the ship has fallen down. But this was not true. It was just an imagination. It is the boat first disappears. Whenever you see a boat or a ship on the sea, you will see the boat disappearing. Then the mast. Now what is the mast? The mast is the topmost portion of the ship. Okay? And this slow vanishing of the ship tells us that the shape of the earth is round, not flat. Because if the earth was flat, you could have never seen the ship disappearing slowly. You could have seen that the ship would have immediately fallen down. Okay? So, now we will move to the shape of the earth, in which I'll tell you everything who discovered and when and how. Okay? So, let's. Now to the shape of the earth. As I told you, in ancient time, people believed that the earth was flat, which was not true because it was just an imagination of the people. Okay? Now, Ferdinand Magellan was a Portuguese explorer. He sailed around the world and proved that the earth is round. How? He started sailing from one place, and after some years, when he came back, he found that he reached the same place from where he had started to sail. He started his journey in 1519 and he completed his journey all around the world in 1522. Here I have shown you the picture of a flat earth. How did people think the earth was? And Ferdinand Magellan, this is the person who discovered that the earth is round. Okay? But one more thing I would like to explain you in this content is that the shape of our earth is not actual round like a ball. It is not actual round. It is like the shape of an orange. Look here, there is a picture of an orange. You can see in that picture the sides of the orange are bulged. Sides means from the middle. From the middle portion it is bulged. Okay, and from the point means from the top point and from the bottom point. Okay, it is flat. Same goes for our earth. So you can say that our earth is not exact round, but it is round like an orange, which is bulged from the middle and flat from the top and bottom. Okay, have you understood this? Fine. Now moving to our next content. Now before moving to the next section, that is the globe, let me tell you something about the earth first. Because we all know that the globe is the model of the earth. Yes? Here I'll give you some introduction about the earth. Introduction about the earth is like, first point, the earth is not exact round, but it is like an orange, and I have shown you in the picture that the earth is like an orange, bulged from the middle and flat from the both points. Then the earth rotates on its axis. What is the axis? When I'll show you the globe, I'll tell you. And it's slightly tilted. What is tilted? Tilted means sloping position. This is tilted. Okay? Tilted means slopy position. Means if you see the earth, it is not like standing like this. It is a bit tilted. Okay? Now there is an imaginary line on the earth. Imaginary means when you see the earth or when you see the globe, you will not see that line. But you can imagine, because this line divides the earth into two equal halves. This line divides the earth into two equal halves. And do you know what is this imaginary line called? It is called an equator. This line is called an equator. Okay? I have told you about the two end points on the earth or on the globe. That is called the poles. The upper one is the North Pole and the lower one is the which pole? South Pole. Okay? You all know that the sun rises in the east. And the thing which comes in your mind is that if the sun rises in the east, it means that the earth is also rotating from what? East to west. No, that's not true. The earth rotates from west to east. That's why we can see the sun rising in the east. Now about the rotation of the earth. The earth moves in two movements. One is the rotation and other is the revolution. The earth completes one rotation in 23 hours, 56 minutes and 4 seconds. Okay? It means you can count as one day. The earth completes its one rotation in one day. Here I have shown you two pictures. One is of the earth itself and second how actually the earth looks. You can see that the earth is bulged from the middle and flat from both the ends, or you can say flat from both the poles. Getting it? By looking at the picture, it will be easy for you to understand. Now moving to the next content. Now I will explain you the globe. Yes, now in this section, the globe. The globe is a model of the earth. When you see the earth in this space, or you see the globe which you have in your hand, both looks the same. Okay? Here you can see that the globes are mounted on the axial stand. Axial stand means you are seeing here that the globe is standing on a stand. It is mounted on a stand. So that stand is known as axial stand. Okay? Now when was the first globe invented and by whom? The first globe was invented in 1492 by Martin Behem. And whose help did he take? He took the help of the painter George Glockenden. So have you noted down? When was the first globe invented? The first globe was invented in 1492. By whom? By Martin Behem. And with whose help? With the help of the painter George Glockenden. Okay? Now you all must have seen only one globe. But there are two types of globe. Okay? These two types of globes are the terrestrial globe and the celestial globe. Now what is terrestrial globe? Terrestrial globe shows you the masses and the water bodies. You can see here in the second picture the globe which is brown in color. But this terrestrial globe shows you the masses, that the land masses or the landforms you can say, and the water bodies. And what are celestial bodies? Celestial globes, I'm sorry, celestial globes. Celestial globes show the apparent position of the stars in the sky. There is also celestial globe. Did you all knew about it? No. But now you have known. So whenever you have a talk about globe with someone, you can say that the globe are of more two types. The one which we use it in the school, and more two types of globes, that is terrestrial globe and the celestial globe. Terrestrial globe shows you the land masses and water bodies, and the celestial body shows you the apparent position of the stars in the sky. I hope you all are liking the lesson, right? It's interesting, no? So let's move to the next section. Our next section will be now the problems with the globe. Okay, let's start. Now our next section is the problems of the globe. In this section, we will discuss that what kinds of problems do we face when we use a globe. As you all have seen the earth, do you see the earth fully at one time? No, we could only see the one side of the earth. Same problem is there with the globe. The globe does not show you the full portion of the earth on one go. The globe does not show details of the landforms. If you want to see only one landform on the globe, it is not possible. If you want to locate a small town, it's not possible. If you want to locate one river, one water body, not possible. And the whole earth and the whole globe cannot be seen in one time. The second problem with the globe is it is difficult to handle. We cannot handle the globe so easily. If it is smaller in size, it's not easy to see also. And if it is much bigger in size, it is not easy so much to handle. Now if you want to show something, can you carry the globe around from one place to another? Not many times. It is only possible sometimes, but we can say that it is difficult to carry the globes around. And only half the world can be seen at any given moment. Here we can say that if on the globe you want to see our country, if you want to see our country, that is India, then you can't see the next portion of the globe. The portion which you see will be in the light, and the portion which you cannot see will be in the dark. Same happens. Now the maps. A drawing of all or part of the earth's surface. Now on the map, again it is not possible for you to draw the whole map. Here you can only draw a part of the earth's surface. A part of the earth's surface means if you want to, we can say like if on the earth we want to see one portion, we have to take a closer look, right? But if on the map I want to draw or I want to see, we can say if I want to see one place means the city in which I live. I live in Didwana. So now in Didwana, where are the small towns? If I want to see that, I have to use a map, because the map shows the part of the earth's surface very easily. But a full earth or the whole earth cannot be possible to see on the map. Basic purpose is to show where things are. Basic purpose means if you want to see some temples, mountains, rivers, which river is situated in which city, then these maps help you. Map show visible features. Yes, rivers, lakes, forests, buildings, roads, all such things are possible to be seen on a map. But the map can only be drawn on a flat surface. If you say that I can draw the map on a ball, not possible. It can be drawn on the cloth or on a sheet or on a paper. But only one surface of the earth, any one. Okay? Now as I had told you, we would discuss about the types of the map. So here I'll tell you which type of maps are there. There are political map, physical map and thematical map. Okay? Political map used for what? I'll tell you. Physical map for what purpose? Just think and keep it. So that when we discuss, you will give me some points or you will note down that points in your notebook. That okay, I have thought this and ma'am has told this, it means I was right. And the third is the thematical map. Okay? Here in this section, I have shown you two maps. The first map is the world map. Okay? In that world map, you can see, you can locate India. Just locate India in that world map. Have you? Yes. And the second is the map of India. Here you can see the states, the neighboring countries and everything. Okay? Types of the map, our next content. Types of the map, in the first content it is political map. Political map shows you the features like what? If you take a political map, in that you will see the states, the capital of that states, provinces, other cities and some major towns. Here I am trying to explain that if you want to see a state, which are the neighboring state, like we live in Rajasthan. This is our Rajasthan state and I want to locate or I want to see which are the other neighboring states of my Rajasthan, then I would need a political map. Through that political map, it would be easy for me to locate the neighboring states. Okay? Then comes the physical map. Now what do physical maps show you? By the word physical, it is easy to understand. Physical means you can count like natural. Now what has nature given us? Nature has given us rivers, seas, oceans, mountains, right? Valleys, plains. So to locate such landforms and water bodies, we can use physical map. Now note down one point in your notebook. Name some seas, 5 oceans and 5 mountains. Note it down. I repeat again. Name 5 oceans, 5 rivers and 5 mountains. And try to locate them on the map. Take a physical map and try to locate them. Okay? Yes. Now next is thematical map. Now what do thematical map help us? How do? Yes, thematical map includes the rainfall. Rainfall means how much rainfall is there in which state, vegetation, which forests are there, how much greenery is there, okay, deposits of minerals, which mineral could be found in which state very easily, and the location of the industries. Some big industries, by the help of thematical map, we can locate. Okay? Note it down. The types of maps, they are political map, physical map, and thematical map. Now our next section will be the signs and symbols. But before moving to that, take a look on the maps which is there. The first is the political map. You can see the states given in that map. If you take a political map, easily you can see the states located and the neighboring states. The next is the physical map. See that physical map. You can see the mountains, the rivers, everything located on it. And look at the thematical map. The colors indicating, and what color indicates, which color indicates what. It has been given there in the box below, the map, which helps you easily to understand. Have you seen? Shall we move further to the next content, that is signs and symbols. Yes, now to the signs and the symbols. Maps use various signs and symbols to depict different features. Different features, like if I want to show the airport on a map, my symbol will be different. Okay? If I want to show the symbol of a hospital, you can say located in which area, then I'll use the sign, a different sign for that. If I want to show a school located in which area, then it will have a different sign. So here all the signs and symbols are different for different features. These signs and symbols are of what? It can be of anything, like rivers, roadways, railways, temples, schools, etc. It can be hospitals also, right? It can be a house also. If you can locate the area, in which area do you live in Didwana, take a map of Didwana, try to locate your area in that, and try to search your house. Where is it? Is it not interesting? It's so much interesting, right? Okay, moving further. Conventional signs and symbols. These signs and symbols are also known as conventional signs and symbols. It can be given by the name as conventional signs and symbols. Okay? Now, these signs and symbols are also of different types. They are when they are used on the map. You knew about it? No. Now you can know it. That there are three types of map symbols. First is the point symbol, second is the line symbol, and third is the area symbol. Okay? Now what do point symbols indicate? The point symbols indicate buildings, dipping tanks, and trigonometrical beacons. Okay? Now what do line symbols indicate? If there are lines on the map, okay, yes, then these symbols indicate that there are railways, road, power lines, and telephone lines. And the area symbols. Area symbols like where the gardens are situated, vineyards, cultivation, orchards, pines, such things. Okay? So the signs and symbols What do these signs and symbols are? These signs and symbols are of rivers, roadways, railways, temples and schools. What are these signs and symbols called? These signs and symbols are called conventional signs and symbols also. Now, which are the three types of symbols? The three types of symbols are point symbol, line symbol and area symbol. Got it? Shall we move further? To our next section is the color of the map. Have we missed anything? Yes. Here I have shown you two pictures. In that picture, you can easily locate that what symbol indicates what. Which symbol indicates what. For the aeroplane or for the airport, domestic or international, it is the symbol of an aeroplane. Okay. If it is the symbol of an ambulance station, then it will be a cross. Okay. Now if it is like let us search bus stop, then the symbol will be of a bus. Okay. Now if you want to see the car parking, then it will be a big P written on it. The symbol will be of a big P on the map. Next, let's see if we can search fire station. See at the fire station, if there is a symbol of F on the map, means it indicates that it is the symbol of a fire station. Then hospital. Now if it is a symbol of a cross, again a cross. If it is a symbol of a cross on the map, means it indicates that it is showing you a hospital. Okay. Now if you see a symbol of a K on the map, K indicates that it is a kindergarten. Kindergarten means it is a school, but for small kids. Okay. So such kind of symbols, you should know which symbol indicates what. Okay. If there is a traffic light on the map, how would you come to know? See in the picture and tell me. Yes, it is a red circle. It is a red circle. If there is a red circle on the map, it means it is showing you that there is a traffic light signal on that area, in that area. Okay. So shall we move further to our next section, that is the directions and the scale. Because if you want to study a map, the directions should be there. Without a direction, it is not easily for you to locate a place on the map. So look at our first point. Directions are important to study map. And our second point says this other thing. Directions are used to correctly locate the place on a map. Okay. Now, directions. But which are these directions? There are 4 directions. They are called the main directions, or in other words, you can say they are called the cardinal directions. Okay, they are called the cardinal directions. Did you know that there are 4 sub-directions also? No? I'll tell you. These 4 sub-directions are northeast, northwest, southeast, southwest. Okay. Now, one question again comes in your mind. Ma'am, 4 directions can be seen very easily. East, west, north, south. But ma'am, how can we locate the sub-directions? I will tell you. If you want to see the northeast direction, then the northeast direction is in between the north and the east direction. Between means in the middle. Okay. North and east. In the middle it is northeast. North and west. The middle direction is called northwest. Same goes for southeast and southwest. The direction between south and east is the southeast direction, and the direction in between south and west direction is the southwest direction. Getting it? I'll show you the pictures of it later, then you will be easily understanding it. Now moving to our scale section. The scale is also an important part of the map, because without the scale it is not easy, or you can say not possible, for you to show the actual directions or actual distance between the place. Now, one more thing comes in your mind. Ma'am, I have seen the map, but I have never seen the scale on the map. I'll tell you where it is located. Whenever you take a map, the scale is on the lower right side of the map. Lower right side of the map. Okay? And it is the ratio between the distance of the map and the real distance of the ground. So, here in all the points of direction and scale, it is trying to explain you that the directions and the scale are the important part of the map. Without directions, you won't be easily or correctly able to locate the place on the map. And without a scale, you won't be able to show the actual distance between the place on a map. So, it is an important part of the map, which are that direction and scale. Okay. Now I'll show you the pictures of direction, subdirection and scale, so that it will be easy for you to understand. Now here, in first picture, look at the first picture. It shows you the north, south, east and west. The right side of the north is the east direction. The left side of the north is the west direction. And if top is the north, then the bottom is the south. Same way you can see in the map. Now for the subdirections, look at the second picture. The subdirections are being shown. East, west, north, south. You can locate that directions. Now look at the direction between north and east. It is the northeast direction. Now look at the direction of southeast. It is in between the south and the east direction. Now let's move to the southwest direction. It is in between south and west direction. And now if we talk about northwest direction, then it is in between north and west direction. It is easily understood after looking at the picture, right? Yes. Now to the scale. Look at that. That is the scale, the arrow showing you the scale on the map. Such kind of scales are there on each and every map. you can easily locate with the help of the scale. So was the chapter interesting, students? Yes. Now in the next class, I will tell you about the latitudes and the longitudes. It will be our second chapter. And soon I will be there with you with the latitudes and longitudes. Okay? A different way of learning. Right? So, enjoy and learn whatever you have written. I'll meet you back very soon. Till that time, have a nice day. Thank you.